Good morning. It's Thursday, time for friendship again. I was thinking it was in 2009 that I started Friendship International, or going to Friendship International. And so almost every Thursday, other than sabbatical year, I've shown up on Thursday morning. So it's a little strange in this social separation not to be going to Friendship. This week I told you I was going to talk about journaling. And during this week, I've been a little melancholy, and it's been a little hard to scrapbook. So I'm glad I had set a goal about journaling because it got me going a little bit. And I'm hoping that by my talking with you a little on Thursday mornings, it'll help you keep going when we can't do our normal things. So I've tried a couple different ways of journaling this week. And I will include the pattern on under the title later. I made this weird little sign. A lot of my holiday, when we went on our cruise to Alaska and Japan and Russia, was following maps. And this week I concentrated on one of our stops in Yokohama, and we went to, I can't pronounce this, Nagoyama Zoo, Nagayama Zoo. And even though I'm working with the pocket pages, I am going to do the maps and paraphernalia on the larger pages. So it is really easy to add journaling. And so I made this weird grid, and I put little arrows as I started talking about the zoo and my experience there. I printed them off after I made the initial one, and I decided to use a different color ink. You don't really have to use acid-free ink when you make your booklets because they're in plastic, and so they're not touching your photos. So I just use a regular pen, a gel pen that I like, and I have many colors of these for my grandkids, and you can add color to go with the pictures you're working with. So this is sort of unusual for me to do a random type journaling, but it was kind of fun. The other thing I did, I made some little journal tags, and I used just basic twine to add a little dimension to the journal tags. But you also can use accent twine, like we have it close to my heart. And the pattern here, I'll also include this. Not sure how this will show. Black book, this will show. Actually has holes cut out. And so to enhance those holes, I put it on a plain tag. But I didn't really like it. It was a little bumpy to work with. So I changed it over, and I went on Cricut and just changed the cut to a draw, and then the tags just had lines with little spaces, and the printing came out really nice, or the cursive came out nice. You can make it any sizes, any colors. The other thing I thought, this is from Geographically Speaking. It's just a little, again, this is sort of a disjointed page, so this is a disjointed title. I wanted to make sure I told the story of the really beautiful zoo we went to. So I'm still working with pocket pages and about the zoo. And as you can see, I'm nowhere near finished, but it's given me an idea of what I want to capture. And even with the pocket pages, you can make your first pages solid, and it will go well with it. There are a few other ways to journal. One way my grandkids like is when I take a picture of them and then I write the journaling all around the picture, on the outside, on the mat. That works really well. Don't have an example of that, but maybe this week when I go to another part of Japan in my scrapbook, I'll try that technique and show you next week. Two more things to talk about. As I go on my trips, even though I took some pictures in Japan and Russia as I went along, I always carry a journal book with me and keep treasures in it, keep addresses in it, keep notes so I don't forget, dates, itinerary, people I want to contact later. And when I'm making my journal blocks and my titles, I go back to the original cruise sheets if it's a cruise, or an itinerary if it's not a cruise, and I make my titles from that so I have the correct spellings. These I don't have filled out examples, but I wanted to show you another quick and easy way to do journaling. I use a stamp set with lines, one of my favorite ways to add a spot to journal. It's easier for me to put a picture in than to write about it. And I know they say a picture is better than 1,000 words, but for me, as I'm getting older, I forget those words if I don't write them down. So just having a little spot to write them down helps a lot. And I made one copy of the stamps. This time I used a softer ink. I didn't use black, I used charcoal for my color. And then after I made this page with a few of these journal stamps, I just put basic cardstock in the printer and printed a few out. So it'll be really easy for me to make duplicates and cut them up. Even easier would probably be if you had a Cricut, you can make the cut lines too. So I will gladly give you a page of these journal blocks I made and a sample of the cutout journals. I'll do it to the first 12 people who email me. I brought 12 extra stamps and I will send some out to you. So let's see if you're listening and you want some freebies. I'll also include that memories camera that I made last week. And last but not least, I got this little journal scrapbook. Got it from scrapbook.com. Now, I don't represent scrapbook.com or anything. I'm an independent consultant for close to my heart. But I love this idea, and with being separated for a while with this COVID-19 virus situation, I decided that once a week, and I put my start date, which was 2 weeks ago, I was going to put one picture of something that reminded me of my week and give me a chance to think of things that are positive and things to be thankful for amidst the different lifestyle we have to live right now. So you could do this in any journal, you could do it in a regular scrapbook, but I didn't want to make it a big emphasis. I just want to remember even the feelings that I'm going through while my husband and I are separated from our family and loved ones. This week was particularly hard because we were supposed to go to Michigan today to see a couple of my grandkids and my daughter's family. And that's not happening, and I'm finally able to talk about that without crying. So we're all going through something, and I pray that you're not going through the sickness, and I pray that you're protecting those that you know and love by staying home and enjoying the beautiful spring weather. So since I am having a little bit of trouble crafting, I'm trying a few other things. I'm learning how to make crepe flowers. I'm cutting out some new porch furniture cushions. Well, I say I'm cutting it out. So far I've purchased the cloth and the ribbing, haven't cut out a thing. And I'm reading a few books. One way I'm reading my books is I'm reading aloud to my grandchildren over FaceTime. So my schedule is totally crazy. I thought I'd be crafting every day, every moment, but just keeping in contact with people through mail and cards has become a primary goal to me because I want to encourage others. So rather than tell you what I'm teaching next week, I'm just going to share this finished page with you and whatever other pages I happen to be working on. And I will still connect with you, and I'd love to see what you're making, but I'm not going to put pressure on myself to create a certain amount because I find that's a little bit hard. So have a great day. God bless. craft to keep your sanity, and pray for God to show a miraculous healing in the situation. God bless.